you heard the story, and we're back.
Yeah, it's actually a really good story. I'll tell you sometime about Patty introducing me to Janis Joplin, Woodstock, the whole thing. Anyways, and Jenny is a baby sitting in a swimming pool in our kitchen on the third floor.
Anyways, back.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Okay, so,
Hello.
okay, so now we go to our femme fatale.
Last movie.
Whose movie was this?
The Femme Fatale.
You,
No.
Black Widow.
No.
Me.
George's.
George.
Oh.
Sue. Excuse me, Sue. You.
And now we're
Our femme fatale.
we're back for Red Sparrow. I'm sorry, Black
Sparrow.
Widow.
You're not getting this until you don't
Let's watch the trailer.
You don't know everything about me. I've lived a lot of lives. Before I was an Avenger. Before I got this family. I made mistakes choosing between what the world wants you to be and who you are. We have to go back to where it all started.
Where did you think I was all this time?
We have unfinished business.
My girls are the toughest girls in the world.
I'm sorry. We had our orders and we played our roles.
It wasn't real.
It was real to me. To me, you were everything.
Bring her home.
Put your seatbelts on. She's such a mom.
One thing's for sure. I'm done running from my past.
Like,
Wait till I do the Barbarian Brothers.
when we did
We're
Moana.
back, and we're back
Okay.
from the trailer.
Okay.
Yes. So my movie, this.
The Black- okay,
Me. So Black Widow is Scarlett Johansson and playing Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow. Florence Pugh, Yelena Belova as her sister. David Harbour from Stranger Things, you know him, and
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz. He's Alexei and she's Melina. This is a kind of a sort of a origin story for Black Widow. So the movie actually starts right after the events of Captain America: Civil War. So when they get accused for whatever, and so she goes back to her, she goes in hiding. I think goes back to her hometown or her whatever. She's going somewhere, but the movie goes. Actually, the movie starts when she's a child, a young child, 1995. And it kind of shows us her with her sister and her parents and what they go through, and so that's kind of more like the origin story. Then the movie cuts to the events of
Now.
after Civil War, Avengers
Right.
Captain America Civil War, which she goes back, and then it kind of goes back and forth, showing her when she's young and she's now, and we know why she is who she is and why she's a spy, and the way they describe it is Black Widow has to confront the darker parts of her ledger when a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past arises. So, I actually enjoyed the movie. When I watch Marvel movies, because I'm a big comic book fan, I like because they always have special powers like X-Men or whatever. Black Widow actually doesn't. And actually, in reality, she does. One thing they don't tell you in the movie that they do in the comics is that Black Widow was actually given a serum too, like her father who plays the. And so in reality, she does have superpowers, but a very, for some reason, a very minute form. So she's actually like a super soldier as well. They just don't touch that in the movie, But so there's a lot of stuff that she does that you go, come on, no regular human can do that. But in reality, she does have superpowers to some extent. So, but the movie, I liked it because in the beginning it reminded me of a spy film, like Jason Bourne, or Taken. It does have a spy feel with the music and the whole international thing, and then it goes into the classic Marvel movie. We just shoot them up and special effects, and when I'm like, oh my god, okay. So it had a great, to me, it had a great promise. I really enjoyed it, and then it went to Endgame, which I never stopped fighting. I really enjoyed her sister, Florence Pugh. I love her character.
Yeah.
She was so funny.
She was.
Her, with the accent and just constantly cracking funny jokes. And I really like Deborah Harper's character too. He was so funny as well. But it seems to me like that's why he's perfect. What's that devil character?
Hellboy?
Hellboy.
Yeah.
He's a perfect Hellboy because he's really funny too. So I like those two characters. I thought the movie had a lot of one-liners that were really funny. They were trying to push the envelope with some of the things they were saying. Rachel Weisz, and she's always classic. So I enjoyed the movie. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite Marvel movies, but it's I enjoyed it more than most Marvel movies that I've seen. I've seen some, crappy ones. So
Which one did you think was crappy?
Marvel? Oh, there's a couple ones that I'm like, like some of the Thor ones. I'm like, oh my god, I wish I could get my 3 hours back. but no, I enjoyed it because they went into more of a spy feel, So,
Right.
But yeah, so it's just a classic Marvel movie. Unfortunately they couldn't release it in a timeline because of COVID, because the movie should have been released right
Yeah,
after
absolutely.
Captain America: Civil War. So it has a timeline. And
Lapse.
because exactly. So
It killed some of the
it killed some of that. Yeah. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay, I have to, when I go into it, I have to go into the MSU world.
MCU.
Yeah?
MCU.
Yes. MCU
What's MCU?
world.
Marvel Comic
Marvel
Universe.
Cinematic Universe. Yeah.
I have
Marvel
to,
Cinematic Good.
I have to go into their world because the whole thing is ridiculous to me.
She
but
hates these movies.
but I watch them. I really do. But I have to look at them for within their. I thought that the dad.
I was like, come on, Wolverine makes total sense.
I thought the dad, David Harbour, was fantastic. The sister, I like the sister relationship thing going. It's kind of
Family
really
movie.
funny. All the movies we're talking about are family, kind of weird families,
yeah.
but they're all family
You're right. Actually, all the
movies.
movies because Smash Brothers and family too. They bother.
It was. I don't think I should talk about it a lot because it was okay. It was all right.
That's a lot for Susie to say because she does not like this.
yeah.
No, I mean, that's a lot for her to say.
Just like
Yeah.
American Idol. It was cool, dog. It was cool, dog.
Because she doesn't like these kind of movies to start. So
It's not that I don't like them. I don't understand them. It's like I'm not from the Marvel world. I only like Superman and Jughead.
wow.
Superman and Jughead. I mean, you're talking about
That's the
Archie,
only. That's
the
the only
Archie
comic.
comics?
Yes,
That's
she
the
is.
only comic
Oh,
books I
wow.
ever read.
Wow.
Okay,
Right.
this
Incidentally,
movie.
I was gonna say, I'm
what?
sorry.
Go ahead.
Police Academy. That was his character, Jughead, when he infiltrates the gang.
Oh yeah, right.
A little movie trivia.
I was looking forward to Black Widow because Black Widow is one of my favorites, even though she doesn't have any superpowers until George mentioned that. I didn't know. And I think they should have put it in that she had a little bit of superpowers. I kind of miffed at that.
Yeah.
But obviously, they didn't. So when I went to see this movie, and a lot of intensity was gone because they waited too long to release it.
From Civil Wars. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be way darker. And I was really, hoping for that because that's who I am, right? But I thought it'd be more about this horrible school she went to that, beat her mercilessly until she got her, bow and arrow right. And I was kind of, you know what I mean, though? And it was nothing about the school. It was more like this,
She had this wonderful mother.
Well, I didn't want, I didn't want a family movie. I wanted dark and deep. Wanted dark, and I wanted it to find out why she was so, she always has that. What's her name? Romanoff. You know, that,
Natasha.
Natasha. Well, Natasha, I knew it. Just the last
Yeah,
part.
Romanoff. Yes.
Yeah, she was always so serious. So you thought she came up from some really sadistic school that her parents had put her in.
But she did.
Isn't the Roman?
But she did come out from a sadistic.
But you never saw that. You really never got that. I thought it was going to be about the school. I thought it'd be so much
In
darker.
the movie, they talk about like young
about-
girls
Yes.
who are left, and they become victims to this.
Right.
They were trying to give you a certain message with it.
Yeah, and it kind of took a lot that I was expecting away. It's a well-made movie, I got to say that, but I wouldn't go see it twice, and that tells me everything. If I like another movie,
They have to do it well because Scarlett Johansson is the second highest paid.
I
the
love
entire
Scarlett
Avengers
Johansson.
movies. From the entire Avengers franchise, she's the second highest paid actor from the entire Avengers.
And let me guess,
franchise.
Robert Downey Jr.
He's
is the first
one. He's the
Okay.
first.
Yeah.
And these guys are set for life.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, and I love to say, I love the people. So when I have to look at it like the family picnic movie, as I call it, it's like it didn't have anything I wanted in it, but I understand how well made it was. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, you
I
appreciate the
was,
craftsmanship.
I was
Yeah.
disappointed. I was disappointed in it.
Line.
Well, it's funny because, see, I was sort of disappointed with it as well because I thought, it's sort of cliched with the action sequences
Yes,
and things
thank
like
you.
that, right? But I had to admit, the part you didn't like is exactly why I did sort of find it entertaining.
What?
Like, for example, what George had mentioned is that you have to realize that when they flash back to when she's like 10, her sister's like 6 maybe,
Yeah, that
right?
was pretty cool.
And they have 2 parents, right? Mother and a father. They're like in Ohio or someplace in America who all of a sudden have to evacuate. They just said, we got to go. You got to go. And then they have this great little action sequence. And you realize, they are Russian spies who are just hiding in America, doing stuff. But then, like I said, they're not really a family.
When did you go to this school?
Well, that's the thing. That's when they actually get inducted to the school. Remember, that's why. Well, I don't want to give too much of the movie, but what happens
Give
is,
it
for
away,
example,
everybody see it.
what happens, what I like, is that that both the girls are taken away,
Right.
and then you realize these people are not married. They're all 4 different people from 4 different families. The girls were taken from their families, right? And then you just assume that at this point, when the 2 girls are gone, they're taken to the school only because, like George was
emphasize that.
saying, and after the Captain America, right, the Civil War, that she has to go undercover because she sort of betrayed, I forget, the Shield, right?
Yes.
So she's undercover. So she goes to Budapest. Now she goes back to the safe house when, if you remember the Avengers movie, that
one?
she and the Clint character.
Yes,
what's his
he's
name?
an Arrow,
the Arrow guy. Yeah. Oh God, I wish I can't even remember.
Falcon.
Sorry.
Falcon.
No.
No, he's arrow, something blue arrow. So many arrows.
I'm so
I'm thinking Green
horrible.
Arrow.
Her best friend
I'm
of
thinking
the
Green Arrow,
Avengers.
but that's DC Comics.
No, I know what you
Exactly.
mean. What is this name?
That's what I can't remember. I apologize. But
It's your
anyway,
best friend.
so what happens is that
Green Arrow, he's Purple Arrow.
like I said, Clint, right?
Clint. Yeah, right.
But this is where you see, even in the apartment she goes to, where there are bullet holes and stuff. That so you realize, this was the incident in Budapest, that she's going back, and this is like a safe house. So that's why she goes hidden there. From that point, she finds something and she finds the pictures as a child that she had. Her mother told, okay, don't take anything. But she takes the pictures of her and her sister. And there's 4 of them, like in those photo booths. She tears it in half and gives her sister one, and then she takes 2 of
Right.
them. Or she gives 2 to the sister. So when she finds this little package of this thing in Budapest, she finds the picture, and she knows this is from her sister. So she doesn't know what's really going on. So she said, okay, now I have to find my sister. Well, the sister happens to be in Budapest. And then then all of a sudden they confront one another and they start fighting. Now you realize that her sister is just as talented a fighter as her because everything's just equal.
Yes.
And at one point they're basically going to kill each other, and she goes truce.
They're
And
choking each other like-
immediately they both stop, and you realize, this is sort of, they know that they still have this bond, right? That they trust still one another. So then you find out that, okay, the younger sister blames her. It's like, how could you just leave me? And it's like, no, we were both put in the same situation. So then it's like, okay, we got to figure out what's going on. What is this? So you find out as you watch the movie what something is that they have, this package. Brendan Gleeson, I will say, plays quote unquote the villain in it. And I thought, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Brendan Gleeson. Who was the villain? The Russian guy who they.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
It's the
Who's
the British actor, but I thought he was
It's
very
not
good.
Ray Winstone.
Yes, I'm sorry, it is Ray Winstone. That's exactly what it was, Ray Winstone. Because I actually at first I thought, wow, he looks familiar, but I couldn't place it because he had lost weight. But yeah, Ray Winstone, he's the one who basically comes in and he's like David Hardwood's or that character, right? His like best friend and buddy and everything. And so even the parents, quote unquote, the mother and father, you realize they're spies too. He allows the girls to go, even though you can tell he looks after them in a way. Well, it turns out David Harbour goes to jail. The two girls go off to the school. So you wonder, what happened to the mother? The Rachel Weisz's character, right?
Yes.
So what's really fun for me is to find out why these characters are. And yet, what I really, truly appreciated is what you had said, that they actually are a family. Mm-hmm. The two girls bonded. They sort of, they said, they know the Red Room is where they were trained, right?
They didn't show the Red Room.
Well, they did.
Well,
they actually did finally.
Right.
But like I said, you didn't have any of the machinations of what this was or what it meant, except they said, we want to find the Red Room and destroy, quote unquote, the Black Widow kind of, because I think that was called, right?
Yeah,
the Black Widow Project or something.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Because they get control. They have a control,
Right.
you know.
Well, no, but I think that's sort of in the trailer too. But what I liked most of all is the fact that, now we have to go find Dad. Dad will know where the thing is. That's when you find out they're really not.
Well, you think
He's
of
the
the
father,
family.
and he's the one who basically is, like you said, has sort of superpowers. Because
Right,
I could have been like
America.
the Russian Captain America, and they didn't stick by me, right?
He's like
So
Crimson
again, the
something, yeah.
humor in that is hitting me, or even like you said, Florence Pugh's humor is hitting
She
me
was
about.
funny.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is it with the pose? I'm laughing every time she makes fun of Black Widow. So, and she's the younger one, right? Then they said, he says, I don't know. We have to find Milena or something, your mother, basically. And they find her. And then it keeps going as far as the plot and the family. But I swear to God, you're watching the movie, it's like, okay, who can you trust and who can't you trust? Because at one point, the two sisters are thinking, can they really be trusted? I assume because the father character is so likable. And, he sees the girl,
Yeah, I
my
like the father
girls,
a lot.
that I sort of don't suspect him, but the woman, Rachel Weisz's character, she's the only one who wasn't put in a prison or anything. And you find out why, because she's a scientist and she's contributed to everything. So I like that dynamic. I thought that part was very entertaining. It is the action sequences that I sort of didn't find as entertaining because I said, like Patty had said, I think they're sort of that cliched kind of stuff. But I must admit, I was surprised how funny I thought this movie was. I really did chuckle at all, and it had to do with the four of them. So I will give it to the four of them that I was surprised by certain things. I was like just laughing at certain. It's like,
Yeah,
wow, the
I'm
dynamic of
dying
those
to
four
know the
characters.
score of my
It was it was unusual
No,
for
it
a
won't be.
superhero kind of movie
Right.
because it had much more to do with family dynamics and the
Right.
dynamics between the two sisters.
Exactly.
Were really great, and I thought they might have been setting up the sister.
Oh, well, no.
right,
That's
Yeah.
exactly what they did. Because
Yeah.
again, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Avengers movies, we sort of know what happens to Black Widow.
Right.
But what I
What's happened,
liked,
so you can say that part.
what I like is the
did.
fact that there is a network of Black Widows, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is setting up a whole new franchise. I mean, seriously, right?
Yes.
So, and even the villain there's another superhero villain that's like Captain America who has a shield and is in a suit of armor and the whole bit that she basically kicks Black Widow's ass. And so you know that the two girls, when they have to maybe battle it, that she cannot do it on her own. So it's really interesting that they added that character because I said, okay, that's another character that I'm going to be fascinated if hopefully, she appears again. And I do say she.
You mean the one with the mask?
Spoilers. Yes.
But,
The one with
but there's something that happens in the end that.
well, that's
Don't
what I'm
give
saying.
it away, guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't
give it
away.
This
Don't
is
give it away.
this is
We find
literally-
out that she's Kaiser. We find out that she's Kaiser Sose.
But no, like I said, that there's another
yes.
character that I thought, oh, what a
Right.
great introduction to
Right.
the Marvel universe.
I think
with the
that
others,
I think their characters were.
yeah. Oh no, I get that, but I can see these characters developing into
Oh,
something.
they're always developing
but-
characters.
And again,
For the
it could be
future.
just me. It could be just me. But during the whole Me Too push,
Yep.
this is something I think is
Yes.
extremely
I
important.
agree.
So, I have to admit, I wished I don't know
Next-
how to say
Hold
it.
it back.
This is gonna be.
the action-
They're gonna cut this one. Next one, they're gonna have Simone Biles.
Just it's
Hey,
just
leave
that
her alone.
it's just that the action sequences, like I said, it's like they're like you said, Patty, they're really well done and everything. It's just that I've seen so
missing.
many of these
Yeah.
superhero movies now that it's always sort of
predictable.
rote.
Yes.
You know, but like I said, between the humor, in fact, I would watch another movie if they put those four characters, the mother, the
Really?
father, and the two sisters together.
I'm in the wrong group.
I
That's it.
would have watched that. And to be quite honest, that's why I picked the Sparks Brothers, because I noticed they were all family oriented. And I thought, oh, I'll do this documentary about a family. And you're right.
Isn't
that
it
was the
funny
thing.
how it's all about family?
Well, that's why I tell you,
always is.
I always try to pick my films with a theme. So that's, oh, you guys, it's like, oh, wait, family. And, it's like,
Bad Bears?
and yours was the weird one, because I never even thought about the family until I watched it. It's like, oh, but it has to do with
Which
family.
one? Which one was I?
The
Tomorrow War.
All right. All right.
Because I knew the thing about the daughter, it was a thing about the father I didn't know. So.
See, now that's where
Yeah.
no, I disagree. See, because I thought it'd be so different. Because the buildup has been, why is Natasha the way she is? Mm-hmm. And it was like family picnic time, whereas
Right.
it should have been so much darker.
Oh, no, and that's
all
the
the new
thing.
characters were blah. They're not.
Well,
they don't.
no, it was in
stand
the
out.
it was the Avengers movie where you really when she gets sort of that thing she gets pulled through by the
Right,
Wanda the witch, the Scarlet
Right,
Witch,
right.
right? That you see the memories of what she had to go through about you get classically
ne-
trained
right,
with,
right.
with ballet, right? But then you learn how to kill people on top of that.
See, they
right?
kept showing it in all the other movies, but they never.
Right.
They never showed it
Yeah.
in her movie. I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's
Okay,
another-
okay, people.
the-
Okay,
let's
go
go on.
ahead.
I was gonna say here's a little thing from my gamers out there. I play the game Street Fighter, and there's a character called Zangief, who's a Russian wrestler in Street Fighter. This is famous, since the late '80s. Zangief has a beard. Is a wrestler. He's got a certain look, and he always fights like this. He goes like this before he fights.
Right.
The first scene that I saw, the Red Crimson, what his name is,
Right.
the Russian guy, the
Yeah.
father, he went to fight. That was when they were trapped in thing, and he was gonna fight that
Right.
character.
Oh,
robot
and like I
character.
said, the Captain America in
the
armor.
Captain-
Yeah.
So he's got a thing, and he went like this, and that scene to me, that shot of him doing this with the two hands, the beard and everything, it was the same identical pose as Zangief,
Oh,
like
how funny.
identical, and he even had the beard. So I was like, and I go, if anybody made that connection, like me, it's like that was Zangief. That was,
And to be quite honest, I would not be surprised. Like, oh no, I want to create something from Street Fighter or whatever. I'm sure that was
if
done on
anybody
purpose.
puts
Yeah.
it together, like I might have seen a thing about Zangief and the I've seen some things with he's called the red something, the red soldier with the red crimson.
Yeah, I
I've
can't
seen
remember,
things online where
Bring it back.
where they
Bring
put together
bring it back.
Zangief and him, as the two characters. But I thought that might have been a homage to that, and if anybody caught it,
Right.
a lot of the gamers would have been like, oh.
Nope. Never
Okay,
got
are we ready to score?
Score it. Yes.
Okay, so this was your movie, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Me? 5.
5.
7.
And that's good.
I give this a 7.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.
2 sevens and one. I'm...
Okay,
777, lucky number.
Okay.
so that
Susie's
ends.
finishing it. Let her
So
do it.
that ends this episode of What the Flicks. You can listen to the audio of this podcast on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Amazon Music. Look for What the Flicks podcast. You can watch this video on YouTube. Look for and all our videos. This video and everything we've ever done is look for What the Flicks podcast. What the Flicks.
Podcast.
Yeah, What the Flicks. You can send us your comments and suggestions at whattheflickspodcast@gmail.com. And finally, remember to like us and subscribe.
Did you say YouTube already?
Send money.
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
Susie's following this.
Keep up. I'm sorry, I forgot you were doing that. So remember, okay, I'll repeat this part to like us and subscribe. And so until next time,
Yes.
Adios.
adios.
Oh, look,
Miss
I'm-
you, Sean. Come back, Sean.
Yes.
Please, please.